Available on Disney Plus is a new documentary, or as I record this and as you watch it, and if you watch this a long time after I say it, probably not very new anymore, called The Beach Boys. What is it about? It's about Fleetwood Mac. No, it is a documentary about the Beach Boys. It's an official Beach Boys documentary with the contributions and participation and approval of the band members themselves. And I thought it was really good. I'm not a mega Beach Boys fan, but if you appreciate 60s music and American music and honestly good music, how can you not know and appreciate the Beach Boys? I have watched other things about them. I've never read a book about them, but I've watched Beach Boys, an American band from back in the 80s. And I watched the Brian Wilson, I Just Wasn't Made for These Times documentary. And I've seen, the Brian Wilson biopic, and I've seen the TV movie biopic of the Beach Boys. And I watched a UK sort of muckrakey yellow journalism documentary called The Beach Boys, Wouldn't It Be Nice? So I've seen this story from many different angles, and I've read about some of the things peripheral to the Beach Boys, and I thought this was really well made. It leaves some things out, it glosses over some things. To only be 2 or so hours long, to cover the history of a band that still technically exists and tours like 60 plus years later, you're going to gloss over things. You're going to have an arc to this. It does sort of do what a lot of music documentaries do, which is they take you up to a point and the band rises and they fall a little bit and they have another high point and then they go. And that's it. They were around for another 25 years. Like, this documentary does that. It takes you from the very beginnings. It has a massive amount of very rare photos and footage of the Wilson family and the Loves and the Jardines and all these family members and friends that formed the early Beach Boys. They talked to, and forgive me, I do not remember his name. It's David, and I don't remember his last name, who was a kid who lived across the street from the Wilsons and who was in the Beach Boys very early on for a period of time. I think he's on the first album or two before he wound up getting replaced by Bruce Johnston. And you talk to all these guys and their memories. Now, there are some things in there that are more archival interviews, like some of the Brian Wilson stuff was done a while ago because I think he was probably not in the greatest of shape by the time they were making this documentary. And the Dennis Wilson stuff obviously is archival. They don't get deeply into the troubles Dennis Wilson had. They don't get deeply into the troubles Brian Wilson had later on. They don't get into, surprisingly, do not take this film as far as having the huge hit with Kokomo and that like kind of resurgence they had. But they do really cover the meat of the Beach Boys story really, really well. They even get into the Manson thing, which they could very easily have left out. Rare recordings, studio chatter recordings. They talk about Brian Wilson and his father Murray and how that went and didn't go. And everybody comes off really well in this. I mean, even Mike Love, who a lot of people want to have nothing good to say about, comes off really well in this and comes off like he really does care about his cousins despite what has happened over the years. And I just thought it was really well done. It is, to a degree, not as in-depth and doesn't go into the dark corners a lot of other ones that weren't official documentaries. But I always say, like, for any person or band or something that you're really into, you kind of want to read the official one to get their perspective and the stories that nobody else might know. And then you kind of want to read an unofficial one to sort of fill in the gaps and figure out, between the two, the truth lies somewhere. That's what I would suggest with this. So if you have Disney Plus, it is absolutely worth watching. If you're a Beach Boys fan, let me know what you think about it, if you think it was good, bad, or ugly. But as a casual Beach Boys fan, I liked it quite a bit. And they did talk to some people who were in the later incarnations, into the 70s incarnations of the Beach Boys. And I would have preferred it was longer. I would have preferred like a Beach Boys anthology where it was, many, many hours long. But sometimes, you get what you can get. And in this case, I thought what we got was pretty darn good. So available on Disney Plus to stream. Be nice if it came out physically, but, to stream The Beach Boys.